I'm on a chemical tanker in the US Gulf. I've got a few hours before the next stop, so I figured I'd tell you how someone ends up here, and whether you could do it too. Hi, I'm Justin. I run a project called Nauti-Labs. Before we get into any of that, I just want to give you a little bit of background. I've been in the maritime industry for about 12 years, mostly working with chemical tankers, liquid chemical tankers exclusively, run big oil from the US to other countries, and export and import trade. And the job I'm doing on this trip is one that many people have never even heard of, cargo representative on a chemical tanker. Let me back up. This wasn't my first plan of action as a career path. I was doing pipeline construction in my early 20s, and one day my little brother called me and said, "Bro, you'll never guess what I'm doing for work today. I'm working on ships as a vessel agent." The rest is history. So what does a cargo rep actually do? When this ship pulls up to a terminal, somebody has to represent the cargo's interest, make sure that what's supposed to go on or come off the ship actually does, in the right quantity, the right quality, and by the book. That's me. I'm watching the numbers, the paperwork, the procedure. On a chemical tanker, the stakes are higher because of what we're moving. So the rules are strict and the margin for error is thin, almost zero. You may be wondering how to get into the industry. So I'm going to give you a few steps to get you started. Step 1, you need to get a TWIC card, a Transportation Workers Identification Credential. This is the badge that gets you in and out of foreign trade zones anywhere in the water in the United States. It's easy to apply. Just search TWIC online, you pay a fee, and do an application. The fee for the TWIC card is $132. Step 2, you'll need a professional resume. Honesty is going to carry you a long way here. Do not lie on your resume. People will know as soon as you get into the role if you're lying on your resume. I would recommend the how here being honesty, openness, and willingness. Make sure whenever you put your summaries on your resume to include that you might not have experience in the maritime industry, but you're looking forward to getting some. You'll find that a lot of people start from scratch, even without a 4-year degree. I wish I would have known that before I got into the industry. But you don't need a 4-year degree. You just need a TWIC card, some openness, honesty, and willingness. A few good industries to get you started, especially if you're new. I would definitely recommend searching for vessel agent positions, surveyor positions. A few different companies I'm going to name drop. I'm not affiliated with these companies. I've just known them throughout the industry. Norton Lilly as an agency, Inchcape Shipping, an agency, GAC, an agency. On the surveyor side, you should apply to places like AmSpec, Aim and Cargo. A few tips on the interview process. Whenever I got my first job in the industry, I printed a resume and I walked into the office that was hiring and I asked them to interview me on the spot, and they did. It went really well. Pro tip, bring donuts or kolaches to help me get my first position, so I definitely recommend you do that as well. People love snacks, especially in an office setting. I want to talk about what inspired me to make this video. I came across a YouTube channel called Sow the Land. A guy named Jason talks about his path. He went through some things and ultimately ended up doing a really cool homestead deal, and he makes things with his hands, and just a really cool video, and inspired me to kind of share a little bit on my journey. So that's why I made it. I think that a lot of people might get use out of this video, especially if you don't know what to do for a career. Maybe your degree isn't hiring or something like that. Maritime industry is great, especially on the US Gulf. A lot of big money, a lot of positions are open right now, and you can make a really solid living with little to no experience to get started. Jason from Sow the Land had an interesting quote in the last video I watched. He said, "The time was then and the time was now, and I needed to make that move. If I would have waited another 5 years, I don't think it would have happened."